few days ago, we saw Rahul Gandhi sitting with the migrant workers looking to head back to their homes in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, sitting on one of the Delhi roads, trying to understand their concern. His sister, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, also volunteered 1,000 buses to help ferry migrants from all over India to the state of Uttar Pradesh. Understandably, today, the government of Uttar Pradesh complied, accepted Mrs. Vadra's suggestion where she wanted to privately sponsor 1,000 buses for migrant workers. To understand more behind this generous move by the Congress party, I have Harsha Bhatt. Harsha, what explains this generosity by the Congress party?
Oh, well, this magnanimity of Mrs. Gandhi Vadra is nothing, similar to what was Rahul Gandhi was displaying there, just nothing but a photo op. Because you sure offer buses and the admin kept your offer on hold. But now when the administration turns up and says, okay, yeah, fine, give us the list of buses, you take a good 8 hours to just respond to that response to your request. And then even when you give a letter, you say, yeah, more details about the buses and the drivers we will give out to you soon. This when she says all the buses are already parked at the UP border, right? So why doesn't the opposition or the Congress party in particular keep all this drama aside? Because in the middle of a crisis, this constant peddling of stories that the government had a better way out is not something one can buy, because it's almost like a blatant lie. The scale, the variables, the various tangents to this issue, the migrant issue, is not something you can preempt. Okay, but the best you can do is be responsive, and UP that way has been, which is the highest, mind you, both in migrant and out migrant rates for Uttar Pradesh are highest in the country, but it's still fared well so far. It is also the one which saw the highest number of trains. And to take you back to Delhi, for so much for the 1,000 buses, Tushar, when the migrant crisis happened in Delhi way early during the pandemic, fueled by whoever the noble source, led to almost a scene of a disaster. But the UP government almost overnight did arrange 1,000 buses for all these migrants to be ferried to their respective hometowns. And of the trains, of the 1,000 plus trains, Shramik special trains that moved migrants back across the country, Uttar Pradesh has given approval for 526 trains, while the numbers in the Congress-ruled states are not even 1/10 of these numbers, and for days requests for approvals have been pending. So why all of this? Why this drama of your magnanimity if the states in which you are in power are really doing a bad job of ferrying migrants?
Well, of course, that is one concern, but let's come back to the $1 million question we've been asking throughout the migrant crisis. It's good they want to help migrants go back to their homes. But in a sense, aren't they also making them more vulnerable to the community transfer probability of the virus? Aren't they even actually putting them in further danger? Because the state governments are doing all they can to help the migrants with food, with cash transfers. Just the last week, we saw the finance minister announcing more food and ration for these migrant workers. But isn't the Congress, by tactics like these, further endangering the lives of the very people it claims to help?
Oh, absolutely. The two words that you said, danger and vulnerability. We've heard of this accident that happened at Auraya, right? It was the most horrific face of the lack of responsibility on the part of these states, which seem to be doing the least. Now, if the Congress has 1,000 buses, it sure can spare 2 buses for these migrants from Rajasthan who are going to Jharkhand and Bihar. Or West Bengal. So, Rajasthan being one of the handful of states that has had an issue granting consent for migrant trains. So, why are laborers pulling up suitcases and walking, kids on suitcases and walking to a Punjab? A Punjab is also another Congress ruled state, right? So, you are making them vulnerable on many more grounds than just the pandemic. First of all, yes, there is no formula in a crisis. We can't be holding these individual state governments responsible for some untoward incident. Yes, but these were things that you could have foreseen. You could have put things in place, which very clearly these few governments that we mentioned have not done. Also, the party that is going gung-ho about moving these laborers could spare a few moments on the repercussions, right? Already we have seen the easing down of the lockdown and movement of interstate movement has already resulted in a rise in number of cases. Like we have seen it here in Karnataka too, which is why the CM today said that Karnataka will not accept people from across our neighboring states, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Maharashtra, which are having a very high number of pandemic cases. The state government has said that we will not let people in for at least until the end of this month, because the movement has led to a rise in numbers. And very clearly, this could have been avoided, right? I mean, there was no need for them to be pressing, but the opposition was leaving no stone unturned to make it seem like the government was ruthless and the central government was doing nothing for the migrants.
And tomorrow, if the number of cases rise just because of these tactics,
Oh,
they
these
would be
will be the first ones to hold the central government responsible for every single untoward incident that happens because of this unchecked migration.
Absolutely. Harsha, Congress has been very vocal in the last 1 year since they've lost the 2019 elections on various issues. But this is a very unprecedented situation, something that warrants parties forgetting their differences, ideologies, and coming together to work for the betterment of the people you know.
Absolutely. See, exploiting the already distraught, which the Congress has been doing throughout this pandemic, is the most vulgar act of politicizing that these leaders can resort to. First, you have Sonia Gandhi offering to pay for migrant tickets for trains that were anyway free, okay, except in states where her own party was ruling. Here in Karnataka, also, we had seen the KPCC president flaunting a check, which the KSRTC didn't accept anyway. And we had Congress leaders in Mangalore too, Tushar. They have been part of district administration meetings. They sat through all these meetings, so they were very well aware of the measures being put in place to ferry migrants back home. Yet they landed up at railway stations, were inciting these already panicked migrant laborers, and kept saying that the Congress was doing whatever it can to try and tell the CM what he should be doing. So all these optics paint the opposition party in real poor light, and it would do them good to get some better advice in how they can be positioning or posturing themselves right now. Tell me one good suggestion that the opposition has managed to come up with in this entire pandemic season.
Well, not sure about the suggestions, but they're too good at photo ops. But thank you, Harsha. Those were some very interesting insights into the issue. Thank you for watching.